Hello everyone, I am Left, and welcome back after a long delay to a video on my channel. So today's video is going to be Alpha in depth, particularly CP Alpha. You're not going to see any Weapon Alpha in this video. My apologies if you are a Weapon Alpha main and you were hoping for that, but it's my opinion and many other friends that I have's opinion as well, that CP Alpha is more reliable, more versatile, and just overall has more sustain and burst potential than Weapon Alpha. CP Alpha, you have constant aftershock procs on core charge, you have super high burst with the damage per stack on Prime Directive, and it's your ultimate actually does damage. There's just so much nuance to CP Alpha that Weapon Alpha doesn't have. It has to rely on Breaking Point, and that's pretty much it. So without further ado, Alpha's perk is Infinite Reboot. When she dies, Alpha will go into a rebooting state, and after a few seconds, if you do not kill her out of that state, she will reboot with ample health. This is her energy bar, and her ultimate's cooldown coincides with that energy bar. When it is full, Alpha will reboot when she dies. If it's not full, you just die when you die. So when it's not full, you're just a normal hero. So let's get on into Alpha's skills now. Alpha's first skill, I'm doing these out of order because Core Charge is her most basic skill. It's her B, but it's her most basic skill, so I'm doing Core Charge first. She lunges to the target, Gap Closer, does a basic attack, counts as a basic attack, does crystal damage in a small area, mind you. So her A skill, but second skill on my list, is Prime Directive. Shoots a laser, and if it hits not a lane minion, mind you, if it hits a hero, a boss monster, a turret, she teleports behind that, whatever it is, and deals crystal damage and or weapon damage. Can be used to travel over walls, as you see right here. So it also deals damage per stack. Alpha's ultimate is, Termination Protocol, in which you are going to gain a barrier, and eventually explode after about 3 seconds, dealing incredible crystal damage to a tiny area around you. So that's all of Alpha's skills, so let's get on to how I use these in gameplay.
Where am I? What is all this?
So let's check out some gameplay clips of me playing with CP Alpha. So right here at level 2, it's going to be the first fight. We're going up against a Lance and a Taka. Lance and Taka, usually a very scary combo early game, but no match for my CP Alpha. We're getting him low right here, and he Kakus. So he Kakus away, now where do you think he is? He's probably right next to Lance. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to turn and Prime Directive Lance and use my stacks to deal tons of damage to Taka while he's invisible. Kill him before Lance can try to shove me away with the Yithian wall, or do whatever Lance does. And now we're also going to be going on to Lance here because he knows he can't kill me, and Vox has rotated, which is always nice, and we pick up the double kill. In this next clip, we're waiting for a fight in their Tribush. We go on to Lance because he's low, he completely misses the Impale, and you see right here I'm gaining Core Charge stacks. Core Charge deals Prime Directive deals heavy crystal damage based on your Core Charge stacks, and right now I'm about to unload them on the enemy team. Killing Lance and dealing good damage to Taka. Now I'm low. But what I'm going to do is pop a potion. Taka is not going to be able to kill me here because Core Overload also means that basic attacks heal me. This is more prudent in weapon, but it also works fine in the early game for Crystal. Taka backs off, and we're done with the fight. In this next fight, me and my team are once again working to kill Taka, but he Kakus. So just another example here of how you can use Alpha's Prime Directive to predict the movement of invisible or slippery enemies. And we deal a lot of damage to Taka there. I'm able to cancel my autos quick enough to get another kill. In this next fight, we're going up to the lane. I'm level 10 here, and I'm going to hit my first Core Charge on the Lance. They're trying to destroy our turret, and I hit another Core Charge onto Gwen for a pretty big Aftershock proc. So now that I have 2 Core Charge stacks, I have pretty ample damage going in my Prime Directive if I choose to use it. Now, I could Core Charge back onto Lance for maximum stacks, but Gwen used her Skedaddle, which gives her super speed, so it's going to be most prudent for me here to just use my core charge, or use my Prime Directive on Gwen. With only 2 stacks, it's still going to deal quite a bit of damage, enough to knock her right out of the fountain. In this next fight here, I'm hiding in a bush, and I hit an Aftershock proc on Taka. He Kakus, and as you can see right there, I Prime Directive him right out of the Kaku, and he's gonna go down. It's just a matter of who's gonna get the kill here. So I cancel my auto and get another kill with my core charge, and now we're chasing. Now Gwen comes down from the lane, and she thinks she can stop us with her buckshot ability. We are slowed, but I overdrove my Prime Directive, which means that it has an immense range. Even if Lance were to land a good Githian wall, I would not be deterred from getting onto Gwen here, or Gwen, not Glenn, not The Walking Dead, because I have Prime Directive, heavy damage onto Gwen, and we gonna get the kill on her. This next fight here is going to be 3v3 as we take down this turret. So we're going to take down this turret here with my Prime Directive, and Taka is going to go on Vox. I'm doing my best to keep him off with constant damage from core charge, but he is going to end up taking down Vox here. Now I'm stacking up my core charges on Lance. I knew that Vox was going to go down eventually, so it's best when you're playing Alpha to keep your core charge stacks or your core overload stacks like you're playing Taka. You want to keep them just like key stacks because they're pretty much just as important in high elo play. So right here you're going to see me turn on the enemy team and land a Prime Directive onto all 3 of them, killing Taka and mortally wounding the other 2. I activate my termination protocol because I think I'm going to die, and I do die anyways because I activated termination protocol, but that's besides the point. So pause it right here with the explosion. Neither of them has the energy or damage to kill me here out of Reboot. Gwen is actually going to stupidly look back and try to shoot me, which is going to put her just in range for me to come straight out of Reboot here and Prime Directive over to her, grab another Aftershock proc, and Gwen is going to go down eventually at the end of this. We are almost going to get Lance. Skedaddle's not going to save you there, Gwen. 1 Aftershock proc and a core charge, she goes down. But Lance is just too tanky for me to kill him in 1 Aftershock proc. We almost got him in the base, but we didn't. In this last fight here, I'm going to be showing you why you want to play Alpha like an unkillable zombie, or just an undead character in general. So right here, I'm taking so much heavy damage off the beginning because I just went in 1v3. I didn't even care. So, but I was able to stack up, what is that, 2, 3, I can't see it from here, core charge stacks, and we are going to land a bomb Prime Directive on the other team right here. Taking Taka out, getting ridiculous. Gwen goes down, and I'm just putting Aftershock procs on Lance over and over, and Alpha takes that kill. So what you want to do when you're playing Alpha is play her like just a relentless undead zombie hero that just won't stop. Prime Directive over the wall. Just let them know that they can never escape from your sword, or whatever the thing is she has that she holds behind her back for some reason. You want to play Alpha just completely relentless. You have really no escapes unless you Prime Directive over a wall and hope that there's a jungle camp there. So you really want to play Alpha just like this relentless warrior, because that's what she is, no escape. Alright, so now that I'm done rambling about gameplay, let's get into some drafting strategies when you want to pick Alpha in a ranked match. So I've picked a few heroes here that I think are pertinent to Alpha. Let's talk about Vox first. Vox is a pretty good matchup for Alpha. Especially early game. Late game, there's not really any good counter to Vox, but Alpha is about as close as it gets. She's able to constantly close gaps that he creates with Sonic Zoom faster than he can use Sonic Zoom. With Core Charge and Prime Directive, you have so many gap closers that can just negate Vox's opportunities to kite. Now, come late game, he'll probably end up killing you, but that's just Vox's effect on anything. So if you want a good hero to shut down Vox in the mid game, Alpha's probably your best bet. So now let's get into Skye. Skye looks to create space with her Surrey Strike and land constant forward barrage just in a straight line. So you're going to want to land constant core charges on Skye, and once she locks into that straight line forward barrage, use Prime Directive to just get right behind her and hit her where it hurts. It's pretty hard to hit your ultimate on Sky, so I wouldn't worry about that unless you're going to die, but Sky is all about dealing damage in a straight line, and you can just negate that straight line by either going behind her with Prime Directive or just constantly keeping close to her and sidestepping her forward barrage with your core charge. So, Sky, a really good Sky will probably kill you, but you should be able to dodge her skills enough and constantly close the gap with your A and B that you should be able to take Sky down. Now let's talk about Finn. You don't want to be playing Alpha into Finn. He just has way too much close range crowd control for you to function well. Alpha's bread and butter is just leaping straight in from the front with whether it be Prime Directive or Core Charge, and Finn can just shut both of those down with Quibble. There's nothing worse than getting quibbled out of your Prime Directive before the laser fully goes out. So you don't really want to be playing Finn with Alpha, although it would be pretty funny if he hooked your ultimate right into his team. But this is Vainglorious that I play in, so probably never going to happen. So next, after Finn, we've got a silly little point here. If you're playing against Jewel, just be like this kid. Jewel's directional shield makes her incredibly vulnerable to Prime Directive, and just teleport behind Jewel and be like, nothing personnel, kid. So, let's talk about Taka now. If you are in low to mid elo, it's probably safe to play Alpha against the Taka. If you're in high elo and you see that you've got I Love Joseph on the other team, Xenotech, any pro player that likes to play Taka, no. A good Taka will eat Alpha alive on the first rotation due to your relatively slow clear speed. So if you're POA, SA, and below, you probably fine playing Alpha into a Taka, but other than that, I would stay away from it. So now let's do some general team fighting strategy with Alpha. This is the last part of the video. When you're playing Alpha, you have 3 lives, so play like it. Your first life is your first health bar, your second life is your barrier on your ultimate, and your third life is after you come out of Reboot. Alpha, you have 3 lives, okay? So you can waste a couple of them if you need to strategically. Next, Alpha's engagements are all in with almost no exceptions. It's a little bit of an overstatement, but you can Prime Directive over a wall. Make sure you know when you want to engage, or you'll end up waffling and just dying with Alpha. If you pop your ultimate, combo it with your A. The best way to land your giant burst of crystal damage ult onto somebody is to time it with your A skill so you teleport onto them as you're about to blow. And lastly, manage your core overload stacks like you're Taka managing key stacks. My friend Sakai plays a lot of Alpha, and this is what he told me. He likes to make a play on the first rotation where he builds core charge stacks on the front camps and then teleports over to the other side, dealing a big burst of damage to the enemy team. It's so important to manage your core charge stacks that I just can't say this enough. Manage your core charge stacks. Make sure you know which one is the damage stacks and which one is the damage to you stacks. Make sure you know which one is like the extra damage per stack thing. So you want to manage those really well, and make sure you always have them up at the beginning of a team fight, because it's really stupid to Prime Directive in with no damage per stack up at all. So that's going to be it for this video, you guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed and learned something useful about Alpha. If you did, like, favorite, subscribe, that'd be cool. Leave a comment below if you really enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.